Welcome back to Mosh Pit Podcast. We're here with Ansible at Allenwood Skate Park in Fairfield, California. And they just put on a killer fucking show. How'd you guys feel about it?
Pretty good. A little sloppy, but outside shows are always difficult.
Yep.
Good sound setup though, so we can kind of hear ourselves a little better.
Would you guys like to introduce yourselves to the podcast?
I'm Adri. I'm the vocalist. I was going to say singer, but the vocalist sounds more better.
I'm Anna. I play drums.
I'm James. I play bass and do some vocals.
Tim, and I play guitar pretty badly.
Pretty radly.
Pretty badly. It's incredible.
Not sadly.
I've only done a few interviews with bands, but this is my first female lead band to film with.
Oh, right on.
And it is an honor to film with you guys.
Hopefully more to come.
First question to start off, when did you get into this kind of music and who was your inspiration?
Who wants to field it?
Shit.
Well, I feel like a lot of us have been in at least the crust and punk rock games since we were little.
Yeah, I don't want to say how long ago. It was like 90s, late 90s, and like my inspirations are like the 90s crust bands, like femme-led bands like Detestation, Anti-Schism, kind of
Sacrilege.
stuff like that. Yeah. And then other modern stuff too. I'm not just.
Yeah, me too. I've been into it since I was like a teenager. I think it went from punk to metal into crust, further into more crust and hardcore stuff. Appalachian Terror Unit is another great inspiration of mine. And Scarp. Great drummer.
I feel like I started out in like the emo days, like when Jar means I love you with Dinosaur kind of thing. So my like love for rock, punk, and metal, and all the things that come from that, those tree branches of music genre, whatever. That's when it started. And but I feel like we were all like going to local shows in like Oakland, Bay Area, and a lot of like local stuff's a big inspiration, like Havoc and Tijuana. I love them so much. Yeah, well, I could go on and on.
What's up? When creating your music, what is your guys' like writing process? Do you guys like usually do the instrumentals and then vocals, or vocals and instrumentals?
It kind of varies a little bit. Typically comes up, it's riff driven. Find a couple riffs that actually come together. I'm pretty good about writing a beat to that. Adri's very flexible on vocals. She's multi-talented.
Yeah, I think mostly James and Tim will come up with the instrumental kind of backbone of the music, and then we'll start adding rhythm to that. Adrian writes a lot of the lyrics, so does James, so they kind of share the burden equally in terms of lyrics. Adrian obviously decides like the melody of things, but
yeah, and like a lot of my lyrics are kind of like rough drafts that I give that she works into like making them work for the song musically, and also like some of the riffs, like it's a very team effort because I'll bring in a riff and then like by the time we leave and we have the song, it's like completely different than what I thought it would be. It's better, it's better than it was when I brought it in because we get that kind of collaborative. That's what's up.
Yeah, all of our songs have been very collaboratively written. Like no one person brings the song to the table completely finished and says, "This is what we're doing. End of story."
Oh yeah.
We all. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Don't let him fuck with you.
Okay, we just knock out the table like cats.
No, and I really appreciate that about our band is that we do spend a lot of time at practice writing things together, and that's a really like special time to really work together on all that stuff.
It's a special time.
It is a special time.
Yeah,
we fight sometimes, but not that much.
It's difficult. It'd be a lot easier if someone just come in and brought a song that was perfect. Like,
very sibling-like.
Oh, this is my baby, this riff, it's something I play around with.
Why you have a band is so you can have the influence of everybody around you to bring in something that's incredible. Not one person can bring it.
Yeah. What is your favorite part of playing live shows?
None of it. I hate this shit.
Being,
I want to go home.
Carrying the equipment. No,
being able to be myself, and put out all the energy that I want and just watch it kind of vibrate through everyone else's like veins, and then it's like throwing like a pebble in the pond and it ripples.
Yeah, and seeing people like dance and like go crazy and like just like like mosh and circle pit.
One time, I think it was actually our last legal show, where the circle pit was so strong that I couldn't even see the crowd because it was like blocked off from the band, so we wouldn't get crashed into.
I had to turn my back to the crowd to not get beat up.
Yeah.
We've had some pretty crazy pits, and that's definitely a huge inspiration to all of us. It like really feeds our energy and makes us want to play better and write more material. And of course, we're doing it all for the love of it, but that also really helps too. And I think also playing live, there's this really cool thing that happens where especially young people will come up to us, like it happened today. Someone said, I heard you from way across the park. I've never been to a show in my entire life. He was a really young kid. And now he wants to start a band. He's like, how do I write songs? How do I name my band? What should I name my band? Some little girl was like, I love this music! Like, little. And it's cool to like spread the love and the inspiration to everybody.
And just break that kind of barrier between, like, most people experience music, it's like, some original rock or like something that's or Taylor Swift or something. It's like, breaking that barrier. Like, you're right here.
I don't experience
normal
Taylor
people,
Swift.
obviously.
But that's why I think, because that's why rock, I mean, I listen to other genres too.
Of course.
But rock is like the most connective source of family that you can find.
Yeah.
You go to a fucking Taylor Swift show, and everybody's like, I don't know you, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Well, you're also staring at a giant screen. It's a much less personal experience.
Unless you pay like $12,000 to be like, hi Taylor.
Or unless you like rewrite your whole life to have this parasocial relationship with T Swift. That's not real. When you see a band like that plays live, you just go talk to them, have a real relationship with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best part about the underground scene is we're all equals. We're all in this together. We all support each other. We all love each other. Like, we're pissed off as fuck about a lot of things, but it's definitely not about like my fellow person in the pit.
And I've talked about that before. It's like, I didn't know when I got into doing this, everybody in the metal community pushes each other up. And that's not the same.
And we pick each other up too.
Yeah, and it's like, fucking, you look at other like genres, and that's not like really the case. It's like you're fighting. Most of the other genres is you're fighting for the crown.
Yeah.
This genre, it's more fucking. I'm getting up here, and I did this. I had this band open up for me a while back. I'm gonna bring them with me.
Yeah, come with me. Let's go together.
Well, that's the DIY community. If we're not a community and we're not putting it out ourselves, then it falls apart completely.
Yeah.
There's a big resurgence going on in Oakland right now with a lot of bands, and it's a very big camaraderie between them. It's good to see. I haven't seen that for a long time. It's definitely coming back around to it in a good way.
We just want to play with like our favorite bands around,
Isn't that the point of some of this? I would answer your question of what I like to go to the show or what I get out of playing live as I want to play the shows I want to be at. And through Ansible, I get to do that. I get to be on stage with Throat Rip and all these other fine folks this evening.
Doomsday Division.
Yeah, I don't have to pay to come in.
Yeah.
Malpractice. Like, so many good bands tonight.
Absolutely. Not to just throw out my band.
I asked this to every band. What is the craziest mosh pit you've seen or been in?
Ooh, I got that. So I grew up very young with a dude named Joe Salazar. We were really tight. We were in a band called Fresh Goes Back. But he's cousins with Chuck from Testament. And so I grew up very young, coming to see big bikers getting the shit beat out of them at Oakland shows with Testament. And definitely doing all those bigger metal bands at the time. But those were always the same.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I went to Chaos and Chaos, I think in like 2008-ish, and after Capitulation Terror Unit played and some other bands played, but I was up there filming, because I went there with this band, Perigo Social from the day, and it was a crazy pit. Then all of a sudden, there's garbage cans starting to be thrown, and I'm like, just still filming, but just like kind of dodging them, and the band I was with was like, why did you stay up there? And I'm like, I don't know, I kept filming.
Danville Grange, there was a kid that pulled a machete and somebody got ran over by a car, and that was a Grimble show. That was actually pretty insane.
Yeah, I think just back in the day, like shows used to be like there'd be fights all the time, and I think now it's a little better. But people might have disagreements. There might be a few fights, but it's not like I think it's.
I think a lot of this generation kind of learned from the stupidity of ours.
I think for me, it's not necessarily a specific moment, but one of the things that I think is the most beautiful thing that's happened to me, and also I've done in a pit, is like, there's pits, and usually it's a lot of rowdy fucking dudes throwing their shit around, and like, I'm a rowdy dude, but I'm a lady, so like, I want to throw my shit around, but I also want some buds with me, and so like, me and a couple ladies will arm in arm push our way into that thing and get wild, and it's great, and like, it's a really beautiful thing that we know that we can support each other, and and everybody makes space, and we can all be in the pit together, and it doesn't have to be kind of this homogenous male thing anymore.
I resemble that.
No, you don't.
I think that I wouldn't call it a pit, but there was the BART show, I think last year, and that was pretty intense. Like being jam-packed in like the front BART cart.
You're right in the YouTube video right off the bat. As soon as they start this, you can look that up on YouTube when False Flag's playing. Like scroll, there's Adri right there, and the rest of this holy shit.
I woke up the next morning, or maybe it was the morning after, but I just like was scrolling on my Instagram and I saw like Rob Coons put like this picture of me hanging upside down on the BART train, and I was like, whoa! I had like passed it and I was like, wait a minute. Those pants look familiar. And then like friends from LA and just everyone, even out of state, were like, is that you in this video?
Dude, you were on KQED.
What is that?
Fucking the PBS. Local PBS.
Local PBS, it's on the radio, it's on TV.
That was crazy. That was a crazy time. And then I just love how surprised
all about
people
public
like, we're
radio.
never doing that again.
Look at me dropping it.
What about you?
I had a similar experience like you when I was at Sick New World, and Papa Roach played. I went into the pit and I went to go like film to get material, like to post some shit for my podcast shit. And I remember I went into the pit, went around and looked up, and all you saw was 20 cameras lined up, all of them hanging like this, pointing at the pit. And I was like, holy shit!
Sorry, you got that.
And then I remember like an hour later, Papa Roach posted on their story, and I remember seeing, and they posted it on their page, and I was like, oh shit, that's me in the pit, and I don't look like I'm doing shit because I'm walking around like this. I'm like, fuck.
You're working.
On Insta if you want to shoot that over.
We told them already.
Whatever, I don't remember what we are.
Thank you for showing me.
No underscore.
Ansible something or other band dot bullshit at
Ansible Friendster.com.
This is a new question I thought of. Hi, in my bedroom one night.
As you do.
How do you think your music impacts people's lives when you perform?
When we first started this band, the initial goal was to just keep the scene alive, and so, wait, say the question one more time.
How do you think your music, when you play and perform, impacts people's lives?
Oh, yes, so I just, in a way to word it, I feel like everyone's so used to mainstream media, and I feel like a lot of people go to like you said, Taylor Swift shows, or the venues where like it costs like $40 to get in, and it's really hard to sometimes put out there like, hey, there's these local shows and get them to see. So when you continue to play local shows, it really just keeps like a sense of community, and just keeping it alive, and like making sure that, hey, like you may not be able to afford $200 to go see Slipknot and Pit, but $10 and you can see these local bands, and it's a life changer. It's a game changer.
No dollars.
Yeah, we do
Not
a lot
to
of no
laugh.
one
What is
turn
it
away.
called? Not to
so.
If you ever come to a show and it's not a Not-a-Falaf, come find me. I'll get you in for free.
I won't. Fuck you. Give me
And
money.
I would say like what I want, like I want people, like it sounds contradictory. I don't want people to like not to like be able to like not think about things, like whatever you got in your life. You can like what I want when I go see a band. I want to just like enjoy it and like get into the music and like dance or just bob my head usually as I do now.
Yeah.
And I also want people to think like more lyrics and more like kind of think about like the things we're talking about. So not think, but also think. Just think later on when you
That's how I've always been, being like going to shows since I was 11. I legit that's when I found out that I love shows, is because I felt like my own person when I was at a show. And I felt like I didn't, like when I was at a show, my mind, I walked through the gates, or I walked through the door, and my mind of every stress I have clears. I'm not worrying about next week's bills. I'm not worrying about work tomorrow. I'm fucking here to enjoy the show.
And you're with your family, like you're in a safe place where you can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
And we're all here for each other too, like, you know.
That's why I like this. I went to this new venue out in Folsom called the Mosaic.
Okay.
One of the band members from Neverbloom, they own it out there, and they're starting to get a bunch of bands, and they do like $10 to get in.
Perfect.
And it's actually at a church. And
I love sacrilege.
And they fucking
The band and the act.
They don't have like alcohol. They don't have alcohol or smoking inside, but they have drinks, and you walk in and there's a whole merch room, and then you walk through the doors, and then they have a whole like stage, and it's a nice area.
Well, I would answer your question in a two-part answer. One would be it's bullshit. We don't impact people's lives. We're a fucking crust band. The second part of that would be what I would hope would be the better answer, and that I'm a little older, and at my age, I want to make sure that I'm dropping some of the knowledge that I have of the scene to the next generation of bands that are coming in.
Yeah.
I feel like with as many shows and as many odd interactions in life through this scene that I've been through, there's a little bit of knowledge that I can help. Not to be fucking pretentious about it or any bullshit, but if I can help a couple bands along the way and a couple kids, it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I'm giving back to a scene that gave me so much as a youngster.
Yeah.
That's all.
The sappy fucking answer.
We love Sappy Tim.
This is why I don't get a microphone.
Last question for you guys. What is your favorite song to perform live?
The last one.
Adri, ladies and gentlemen.
And that last one.
But I'm pumped.
Until just, like
that last one is after playing those other ones that are kind of like you gotta be able to keep on time. That last one is like
it you
really
mean because
easy
we want to get off the stage? Or the last
not
song?
like that.
What's the name of the song?
It's called Third Person Memory.
It's called Astral.
If I may interject a different answer, our newest song, Spectre, is my favorite song to play. It's really thrashy, it's really fast, I get to sit in the pocket the whole time, and I get to do this sick two-step dance beat. That's my favorite. But it's the newest one, so.
After all that, I would like you guys to promote any upcoming shows. If you guys are thinking about making an album.
Oh, we are.
September 1st.
Wait.
September. Oh.
An album EP, possibly split.
I don't want any goddamn trouble.
We're driving over here. Well, me and Anna were. They took their own car and got a little texty text or email or something. And it was the master. What do you call it? Master cuts.
The master recordings are in. So tapes are coming.
New album coming out soon.
Possible split. We're still
Possible split coming too.
September 1st and September 2nd.
September 1st at Stay Gold. We will be playing with Choking Game, Sissy Fit, Ananoko, and Goad. And I believe that's their first show. September 2nd, we are at Tamarack with Piss Mist and 115 seconds and Shame.
I love Piss Mist. So much. The energy
like
from
North
Piss
Bay,
Mist
but the
is
other
like,
Yeah, they're great.
We've played with Piss Mist and 115 seconds prior. It's going to be a great show in Tamarack, local downtown Oakland. Come out if you can.
We also have more shows coming up in October as well. Ansible Band is our Instagram, and that's where we post all of our flyers. If you're not a local cat, our flyers are around Oakland, like in person. You don't have to have the internet to know about shows, by the way. Ansible Band is our Instagram. That is where the flyers are.
It's A-N.
But you don't have to have Instagram.
I-B-L-E. No, yeah. A-N-S-I.
Ha
Yes.
And
B-L-E.
Ansible Ansible Band is our Instagram. Ansible
I can say
666 is our Bandcamp.
Ansible is a shortenization of Answerable. It comes from Ursula K. Le Guin, a sci-fi writer, anarchist, like feminist, Taoist, anthropologist, kind of ecologist. And it's kind of this device that can send and receive messages faster than light, like faster than light speed, which is the limit of the speed of information. It's kind of a sci-fi. That's like where the name comes from.
Which is probably the question that we get the most.
Yeah.
What is
What the fuck's
That's
that?
Ansible?
That's on tape. Don't edit that out. Just play that whenever anyone.
And it's not pronounced Ansible. I'm sorry.
But well,
I mean,
it's
it's
acceptable.
Ansible.
That's the language we speak.
That's the
Ansible.
Ansible.
Okay, that counts then too. Call us Ansible.
It's French or Spanish, we don't know.
But
Maybe edit that out.
all of their socials and links to listen to their demos and upcoming album coming soon will all be down in the link below. And
Come out.
go check it out. Go check them
It's
out.
on this ground right here.
Yep,
Right on the
down
sidewalk.
here. Right down here. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And we'll be with you next time. See you later, Mosh Pit.
Find me.
Hey!
Hell yeah.